My sister showed up at my front door in Denver on a Tuesday night in February, crying so hard she could barely stand up straight. No job, no boyfriend, nowhere to go. 4 months later, I found out she never lost either one. Stay with me, because what she actually came for was everything I had. My name is Camille. I am 31 years old, and I live in Denver, Colorado. I work in healthcare administration, and I moved here at 22 with one job offer and no connections. I built everything from scratch: the career, the savings, eventually the house in Wash Park that Aaron and I bought together. Aaron. We met through a mutual friend at a cookout the summer I was 26. Funny, easy to talk to, the kind of man who made you feel like the most interesting person in the room. He worked in outside sales, clients across the city, flexible schedule, always on the move. We dated 2 years, got married, bought the house. It was a good life, solid and real, and ours. And I have had a sister named Renee, 2 years younger than me, my closest person, the one I called first for everything. She knew every version of me, and I thought I knew every version of her.
So when Renee called me that February night, voice completely wrecked, telling me she had just been laid off and her boyfriend of 2 years had ended things the same week, I did not think twice. I said, "Come here." Aaron was supportive. We set up the guest room, welcomed her in. I remember standing in my kitchen that first night, feeling genuinely grateful, proud of the life I had built, happy I had something solid enough to share. Y'all, I had absolutely no idea what I had just let through my front door. The first few weeks were completely normal. Renee settled in, said she was job searching, spent evenings with us. Nothing felt off. Nothing felt wrong. Then, slowly, things started shifting. Renee never once mentioned a specific job interview. Not one. Every time I asked, she gave me something vague. I let it go. Job searching is demoralizing, and I did not want to add pressure. But then I started noticing something else. The way she was with Aaron. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious. Just attentiveness. She remembered small details he mentioned in passing, laughed at his jokes a beat too long, gravitated toward whatever room he was in. I told myself I was being paranoid. People who love you are warm with the people you love. That is normal. But Aaron, too, started feeling different. He sought her out when he came home, checked in on her, offered to help her with things, small, thoughtful gestures that looked exactly like a good man being kind to his wife's sister. Looked exactly like that. I mentioned once, carefully, lightly, that something felt off. Aaron looked at me like I had said something irrational. Said I was stressed. Said I was reading into normal family kindness. Said it so calmly that I started wondering if I was the problem. That is what it feels like when two people who know you completely are working against you. They use your own reasonableness against you. And it works. For weeks it worked. Until a Wednesday night in late June. Aaron had gone to bed early. I was up reading. His phone was on the nightstand. At 2:17 a.m., it buzzed once. The screen lit up for 3 seconds. The contact name said Renee. The preview said, "She believed every word. You are so good at this. I miss you already." I did not move for a very long time. I sat in that bed in the dark for 2 hours, with Aaron asleep right beside me, and I read every single message in that thread. Every one. Going back to March, 1 month after she moved in. Aaron had been coming home between client meetings since March,
He knew my schedule. He was my husband. He knew exactly when I left every morning and exactly how long I would be gone. 4 months of that. My husband walking back into our house through our front door while I sat at my desk 40 minutes away, trusting completely that my life was exactly what it looked like. The messages showed me everything. The way it started, casual at first, then fast, then completely deliberate. The things they said to each other, the way Aaron described our marriage, the way Renee responded. Things I will never be able to unread. And here is what broke me the most. Not the betrayal itself. It was this. Renee knew exactly how I loved. She had watched me love my entire life. She knew I would not hesitate when she called me crying. She knew I would open that door without a second thought. She knew all of that, and she used every single piece of it. I got out of bed, I went downstairs, and I fell apart in the quietest way I have ever fallen apart in my life. Not loudly, not dramatically, just completely. The way something comes undone when the thread holding it together finally gives out. I cried for Renee more than I cried for Aaron. Losing a husband is one kind of pain. Losing the person you called first for everything, that is a different kind of loss entirely. One that does not have a clean name. I sat there until the sky outside went gray, and somewhere in those hours something cold and quiet settled inside me. I was done. Not done hurting, but done. And I knew exactly what I needed to do.
And if this betrayal, living right inside your home, right under your roof, if this hits close to home, our video 2 on this channel is exactly what you need to watch next. A wife who found out her husband had an entire second family for 7 years. Found out completely by accident in a Costco parking lot. That story is linked in the description. Okay, back to Denver. I gave myself that one night to fall apart. And then I got up and got to work. First call I made was to a family law attorney. My name was on the mortgage. My income had covered the majority of our expenses for years. She told me my position was strong and walked me through exactly what I was entitled to. That was all I needed to hear. Same day, I applied for an emergency loan through my company's HR program. Then I started looking at apartments. Spent 2 weeks going through listings, touring places across Denver. I was not rushing. Every morning, I went to work, came home, sat at dinner across from both of them, said almost nothing. Neither of them noticed a single thing different about me. By end of week 2, the loan had come through. I found a 1-bedroom in Capitol Hill, signed the lease quietly, paid everything myself. Aaron had no idea that apartment existed. When everything was in place, I wrote 2 letters. I told Aaron I had read every message, that I knew everything, that I was done. I told Renee that I pitied her, that I would not be contacting her again. That was all either of them deserved from me. I folded both letters, left them on the counter, packed one bag, took my documents, took my grandmother's ring, took the plant off the windowsill because I had grown it myself and it was coming with me. And I walked out of that house on a Sunday morning while both of them were still asleep. I did not slam the door. I did not look back. I just left. Tell me, could you have walked out without saying a single word to their face? Drop it below. Aaron called repeatedly. Blocked. Renee left one voicemail. I deleted it without listening. 7 months later, the settlement was done. Renee had gone back to Kansas. Everything she thought she was building in Denver was gone the moment I walked out that door. I got a dog. A big, ridiculous golden retriever named Biscuit who has no concept of personal space and is the best decision I have ever made. I watch the sun come up over Denver every morning, and I think about the woman who stood on her front porch in February and held her sister
and said, "You are not going through this alone." I do not hate that woman. The calculation was theirs. The shame is theirs, permanently and entirely. What is mine is this life, this dog, and the knowledge that I walked out of that door with every single piece of myself intact. Y'all, that is everything. Next time on Wounded Truth, 3 years of fertility treatments, every injection, every loss, every broken hope. He was right there holding her hand. The entire time, he was sharing every private detail with another woman. Every appointment, every result, every moment she was most vulnerable. That story is coming, and what she finds in that clinic waiting room, you will not see it coming. If this story hit you, subscribe. Every week on Wounded Truth, we tell the stories people carry in silence. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. This is Wounded Truth, and the truth always comes out.